Hey gang, welcome to the studio. This is Diana. I'm back today with another way to make stamps, and this is a really low-tech, simple way to make stamps. I'm using craft foam from the kids department at the craft store. It comes in different weights. This is the thin stuff, and it also comes sticky bagged, which I do have some of hanging around. So the first way I did this is this stamp, which looks like that. Very nice. With die cuts from Essentials by Ellen. This one is gorgeous, and this one is Bold Blossoms. I love these die cuts because they take out some of the interior parts as well. So let me show you real quick how, if you have a die cut machine or a Silhouette or what is that other one that I want so bad but can't justify? Scan and cut. You just send it through the die cut machine, take off any little bits and pull out the centers. You can poke them out if you want, and that is ready. And then I just have this piece of craft foam, a second piece I have found since that first video that I made. That this is, did I mention that? I can't remember. So I've got some gel, heavy gel medium here. I found this to be the best way to get this to stick together. So I'm just scraping a little bit on the back of this craft foam with a hunk of cardboard or a nice thin coat or a credit card, something along those lines. And you put it there and you set it aside and you let it dry. Okay. So after that is completely dry, you just take it. Now you have a stack of 2 pieces of craft foam, and you trim around, same as you do with a carved stamp. Now I did want to tell you that my very first YouTube video is was on making craft foam stamps, and I will link it. Not the best video. I think one of the comments said, "I can't watch your video, I'm getting dizzy." And then somebody else answered that and said, "Just close your eyes for a minute," because I didn't have a tripod and I was holding the camera with my hand and la 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 da. So anyway, I will link that up there. All the links, by the way, if I mention another video and I have not forgotten, I will put the link up there, and I will admit to forgetting sometimes. So, and all the materials, you know that I link all the materials down below. And so there you have it. Nice pumpkin. And what I try to do is use some tape runner on the back. These foam stamps, they'll last you for a while. Sometimes the tape runner does not want to stick to the back of this foam, but that did. So there we have it. There's our pumpkin. Let's see how it stamps, hey? So here's my book. I'm just going to go to a page. And of course I tell Sunshine. Simon Says Stamp Sunshine. These Simon Says Stamp inks, by the way, if I haven't mentioned this ever before, they are really nice. They're the same as the Hero Art Shadow inks. They're all the anything that is in this kind of packaging is the same ink, the same formulation, just for a different color lines, but the same person or people or whatever make it. It's the same exact formulation. So you just go ahead and stamp up as usual, and it should give you a good stamp. This is pretty low-key and nice. It's a pretty cute stamped pumpkin there. So I've just stretched my die cut and my die cutting machine with that. If you don't have a die cut machine, here's another method. And I'm going to show you two really easy stamps to make. Okay, the first one is going to be, oh, by the way, I am working on that sticky backed foam. So that will be my sort of top piece. And I'm making my favorite shape, a rounded rectangle. I always wonder why these shapes I find so appealing, but I think that we all are drawn to different shapes and that you shouldn't think too much, you should go with it. Okay, so now because that's sticky backed, I can pull that right off the back and plug it down and then go ahead and cut it. And you can look into symbols. I just did a class for Creative Jumpstart with Natalie Callback, and it's up for, I think it's up till March, and it was all about symbols that Basquiat used, but more about the symbols that you might want to use for yourself. I think creating your own vocabulary like this is really a great way to stretch. It gives you opportunities to work with different shapes and things like that. Okay, so let me grab, okay, so two ways to do this. If I wanted to add some texture on there, I can just take this is just a textured sheet, I don't know what it is, it's gridded, I don't know what it is, whatever it is, plastic. And I've got my brayer here, and I'm just going to sort of firmly put that together. Okay, and I don't know if you can see it, I can see it. Okay. There we go. Let's see how this stamps. Sometimes it doesn't stamp as well as I would like it to. Let's see here. And I'm going to make later on, I think I'm going to, can you see that? Some areas it is more patterned than others. Okay. I think I'm going to make different sizes. I have that. I love stacked stones too. There's round stones that are stacked. Okay, you can definitely see that there's a pattern in there. So you can do that kind of patterning. And you can heat it up a little bit, and that if you, with your excuse me, with a hair dryer or a heat gun, a heat tool. Be careful not to heat it too much with the heat tool. If you heat it too much with the heat tool, it will shrink. It does give a slightly crisper look. It's up to you. Do what you want. Let's see how that worked. I might not have heated that long enough. There's a fine line where it begins to shrink, and yeah, I guess it wouldn't matter too much if it did shrink a bit. I'm just thinking about that now. I'm going to stamp that. No, I'm going to try that. Let's see what happens. But you can see, just from that is definitely a crisper print than this is a less crisp print or dark print. But I have another idea I'm going to try right now. Okay, the theory is that as the foam heats, it will shrink and the chemistry will change in it. and it'll still be soft, so I'm going to put that piece of cardboard down on top of it and make that impression. As I'm heating this foam, it begins to curl upward, so I just flipped it over and heated the other side until it was flat again. Slapped down the corrugated and pressed real hard. This actually did work really well. You'll see a photograph of it. It's really much crisper and cleaner, and I would recommend it as a technique. Just remember to flip that piece, foam piece over and heat from the other side. Heat from both sides so it stays flat, and after it's shrunk and impressed, then mount it to another piece of foam. Another technique to try is just cutting pieces apart. I actually used a Tylenol bottle cap to make this outside ring for this flower and trim that out, then trimmed a smaller circle and cut out with a hole punch those little circles, and once again use the same technique of gluing down, putting down some gel medium, and by the way, this could be any white glue. Gel medium just happened to be handy, and building the stamp onto that surface. And that works really well too. Just let it dry before you trim it out. Here's a closer look at those stamps, including the one that I used the heat gun on. Oh, thumbs up me if you like this video, and check for supplies and comment below. See you soon.